Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be doing an awesome deck profile of my Lord of the Red. Yes, now you may say, wait, Lord of the Red, wasn't that from the anime? Yes guys, Lord of the Red was originally in the anime. It was actually Joey Wheeler in pretty much Red Eyes Black Dragon's armor. So technically that's what this card was. It was Joey Wheeler with Red Eyes Black Dragon armor on, and it's called Lord of the Red. And this deck is a deck that I created some years ago, and it's a really fun deck that is pretty decent, I would say, overall. It's a type of deck that you can take to locals, have fun with your buddies, definitely enter, depending upon your locals, a tournament, win a couple games. It will catch people off guard, and there's different versions of this deck you can build. I've seen people later on actually use Blue Eyes Chaos Max in the deck. It's just a tech-in. I've seen people actually run the Felgrand engine in this deck, but in this version of the deck, guys, I am actually running the Blue Eyes White Dragon engine. And to be honest with you, it's kind of weird. You know, we're running Blue Eyes White Dragon Seto Kaiba's cards along with a card that's based on Joey Wheeler. That must have been a part in the episode, or a duel in the anime that I completely missed, with Joey teaming up with Kaiba to win a game. I did not see that episode. Maybe it eludes my memory. I don't recall that happening. But alas, Lord of the Red's a very good card. One of the benefits of Lord of the Red that people have to understand a little bit about is people always complain to me about how Blue Eyes Chaos Max is reactive, not active. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's a big monster that has protection, yes, but it really doesn't do anything besides that except penetration, etc. The thing with Lord of the Red is it's reactive. It's not reactive, it's active, because pretty much it can pop things on your opponent's side of the field on either player's turn. And it can have some protection, because we do run things, like Return of the Dragon Lords and things of that nature. But the one downside to this card for being an active-based ritual monster is that it has lower attack. It has 2,400. But usually, guys, you can use the Blue Eyes White Dragon engine, which is why I like it in this deck, to plow over anything, and Lord of the Red can be on the field destroying opponent's cards, which is really nice because you can destroy things on either player's turn. So, very great card in that respect. So 3 Lord of the Red, staple in this deck. It's the namesake of the deck. Like I said earlier, there's different versions of this deck that you can construct, but 3 Lord of the Red, guys. Next, we run our 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon in the deck. Staple in this version of Blue Eyes White Dragon, I would say definitely you run the 3 Blue Eyes. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of instances where this is a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck in this deck, okay? But it has Blue Eyes as White Dragon-esque cards, etc. But you're going to see different ratios than you normally would see, and on top of that, different cards. So think of it more of like if you were watching a Blue Eyes Chaos Max deck profile with Lord of the Red in it, but different ratios for some reasons, and some different cards you can run that you cannot run in Blue Eyes Chaos Max deck profiles. So please keep that in mind. Next, we run, after the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, we run 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Definitely staple, in my opinion, in this version of the deck. You can easily search these things out with Return of the Awaken a Dragon. The Melody of Awakened Dragon very easily. So 3 Alternative works perfectly fine in this deck. We also won the 1 Spirit. Spirit can take care of back row, which is really nice. It can also be tribute fodder because he's at level 8 for your ritual monster, so you can tribute him off to bring out Lord of the Red, which is pretty nice overall to do. So great card for getting rid of problematic cards, and in addition to that, great card for removing back row. Pretty staple in any Blue Eyes deck. Next, we run double White Stone of Ancients and 1 the White Stone of Legend. Now you may say, why are you running this ratio? Because we needed to make room for other cards, guys. We need to make room for other Blue Eyes White, other cards for this deck that help it propel to do what it does. And in addition to that, it's not as necessary. Okay? These cards are not as necessary as they would be, say, maybe in a Blue Eyes combo deck or a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. It's not as essential as in the fusion. It's not as essential as it is in the fusion, the combo versions of Blue Eyes White Dragon, which are the standard versions. It's not as necessary. So that's why I just like the ratio of 1 White Stone of Legend and 2 Ancients. It works perfectly well in this version of the deck, so that's why. Same thing with Sage of the Eyes of Blue. I just like 2 Sage with the Eyes of Blue as well as 2 Manju of 10,000 Hands. Now you may say, wait, hold up. You're only running 2 Manju of 10,000 Hands? why are you not running 3? Well, there's a couple reasons, so let's get into this a little bit, right? These are going to be your main normal summonable monsters, correct? Your Sage and your whites, your Manju. Alright? The same issue pops up in pretty much Blue Eyes Chaos Max, but the reason in Blue Eyes Chaos Max I run 3 Manju instead of 2 like in this deck is because we have a very easy card to get our ritual cards out onto the field, guys. We have pre-prep we can run in this deck. Because we don't have to rely, we can easily search our cards out with using pre-preparation of rights. So you can easily, guys, search out your Lord of the Red and also your Lord of the Red ritual card. And there you go. You already have your ritual all set to go. You get this? So it's a lot easier searchable. So that's why I decided to cut down the Manju, because there was a lot of instances, if I may explain for a second a little bit more, where I'm drawing double of these normal summonable cards in my opening hand when I was running triple of each. And I decided to cut down the ratio for other cards because I wanted to build up some consistency with what the deck does, etc. But I found that at the end of the day, it didn't really matter, and that 2 of each was perfectly fine. So you can play around with that ratio if you want. Maybe you're like, I definitely run 3 Manju. Hey, try it out, before you hate it, because it actually was something that initially I was like, oh no, I would definitely run 3. At the end of the day, I found that 2 was perfectly fine. Didn't really mesh or interfere with the ratios of the deck. Next, we run some hand traps, which is 3 Effect Failure and 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. I really like Effect Failure in this deck, and if you wanted to, you could run Neberu, over instead of the Effect Failures. But I like the Effect Failures because this deck is a type of deck where you can put a lot of damage on board. You can rely upon your ritual to pop things on the field, which is really nice. And your hand traps are going to help take care of a lot of your opponent's problems. There's different ways you can play this deck. I've seen people run heavy trap, lineups. I've seen people run things, more hand traps. It depends how you want to go about this ritual deck. But 3 Ash Blossom is perfectly fine in this deck, and 2 Effect Failure. It is searchable, and also for that reason, it can stop monster effects that could maybe try to get rid of your Lord of the Red, etc. So overall, great hand traps in the deck, and that's all we have for the monster lineup. Next, we run 3 PrePrepper of Rights. This is something you cannot run, guys, and Blue Eyes Chaos Max. But in this deck, you can, and you can search out, like we were talking earlier, your Red Eyes Transmigration and your Lord of the Red. This is a 1-card card to get to your ritual cards, which is super nice. It's pretty much a +1 base card. We run it in the deck, hands down, every day. Next, we run 3 Red Eyes Transmigration. 3 Red Eyes Transmigration helps you, like I said, it's your ritual card for your Lord of the Red. And you run it as 3 L's because it's searchable through pre-prep, and also you Manju of 10,000 hands if you don't already hard draw the card itself, because you have to keep in mind, guys, this is Blue Eyes White Dragon. We can easily search and deck thin and get through our cards, in our deck to get to cards that we need to very easily, because we already have natural draw energy with, Melody to search things out, trade in to draw. You can dig into your deck pretty easily, and that's not including the fact that we run pre-prep, right? So overall, I like this card in the deck. It's been working out pretty well. It's your main ritual card, so pretty straightforward. And people have asked, and the reason I say it's working out pretty well is because I know people that have run the Chaos Max version in the deck, and I found that it worked out okay, but it wasn't as consistent, personally. But hey, play around with it if you want. 3 Melody of the Awakened Dragon. This is just going to search out your Blue Eyes Alternative and your Blue Eyes White Dragon. Basic Blue Eyes White Dragon combo plays. In addition to that, you can use the other one. Once you summon the alternative, you can use the Blue Eyes as tribute fodder with your Red Eyes Transmigration to go into Lord of the Red. So you can easily plus off that. 3 trade-in in the deck, definitely a staple in my estimation. It's your draw power of the deck. So 3 trade-in is pretty staple in my opinion. Next, we run 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. Guys, don't forget that Lord of the Red is a level 8. And for that reason, that you can banish your Return of the Dragon Lords from grave to protect your Lord of the Red. That's something that people kind of forget sometimes, but it's something that's very integral to remember. You can banish this, protect Lord of the Red. So definitely a staple in my opinion. I know I keep saying that, but this deck I've played for a long time and it's worked out fairly well. Next I run 1 Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Monster Reborn. There's different cards you could run in this deck. Like I said, we're really tight for space because we're running a ritual-based deck with the Blue Eyes engine. So it's up to you to decide how you want to go about ratio-wise running things. Me personally, I like the 1 Monster Reborn because we're going to be sending things to graveyard. We can reborn it, we can reborn opponent's stuff, etc. Foolish, we do have certain cards we would like to get engrave, so Foolish works out pretty well. And the Dragon Shrine, along with the Foolish Burial, can help unbrick hands, which is really nice to have, and can win you games in some instances. Especially if you're sending like a Blue Eyes White Stone of Legend to grave to add Blue Eyes from deck to hand and then go off with Lord of the Red. It works. Now there are other cards you can run in the deck, you know, like Call by the Grave, Upstart Goblin. There are some other one-of spells you could run if you wished. So just to keep that in mind, guys, you know, Call by the Grave and Upstart are other 2 one-of spells if you want to make space. You could run Infinite Impermanence. You could run, there's a lot of different ways, like I said, you can take this deck. 1 Field Center of Kaiba, 1 Seto Kaiba token. For your synchros, we run 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. In addition to that, we run our Azure Eyes Silver Dragon and our Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. You can play around with the ratios of these as you want, but this works out pretty well for me. 2 Spirit, 1 Azure Eyes, 1 Black Rose. For your Exceeds, we run a very heavy Exceed package because you'll find yourself going for a lot of level 8 Exceeds. Also for the fact that Lord of the Red's a level 8, so that's another reason why it's so important. 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger. 1 Divine Dragon Knight Felgrant. This can help you protect things on board, which is important. We run our Galaxy Eyes package, which is really nice to pop things. You know, this is kind of like Trident, so this card is really good. Your Cipher Blade, your Photon Armor, and then you can steal things with your Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon. Then we also, in addition to all this, we run some other level 8s as well. Number 97 Dragulon, number 100 Numeron Dragon, and number 92 Heartland Dragon Earth. These are pretty much OTK playmakers and things you can easily go for that can really come in handy and win games. We also won 1 Link Karibo. It's just really nice to have in case you have Sage on the field or a Stone on the field. You can easily get it sent to grave and have some protection. We also won 1 Cross Sheep. This is something that sometimes you will make, so Cross Sheep is really just nice to have in this deck. And also 1 Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. In certain matchups and in certain games, especially because this is a rogue-based deck, this can really come in handy and win you games just on its own. So I like this card. It's just a one-of in the deck that's very easy to make. So that is the deck in a nutshell, guys. I hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. I know it's pretty fast. I know it's pretty straightforward, you know, but the deck is very consistent at what it does and is pretty good overall. Like I said, there's different incarnations and versions of the deck you can create. Some people like running the Chaos Max version in this deck, just a one-of. Some people, if they usually do that, they run Advanced Ritual Art, actually, because they can send the Blue Eyes from deck to grave. Me, personally, I just like focusing on the Lord of the Red and utilizing hand traps for that reason, because Lord of the Red's so good at popping things on your turn or your opponent's turn. So that's just me. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And until next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling to all of you. And I'll see all of you guys next time. Good luck dueling. Seto Kaiba out.